So in a situation like this, I'm creating a matrix for this. I'm going to look at the story. What is it going to be? It looks like this, this guy and his horse coming up to this building. He's not in a hurry, though it's snowy and stuff outside. It doesn't look like he's extremely cold, and he's approaching the building not with an urgency, not with a trepidation or anything. Just it's kind of a casual arrival. But the one thing that I'm noticing in here is I have a couple things going on. I'm just going to start drawing some large directional things because these are the things that I think are moving my eye around the image. And this comes out here like this, and then the building down here. Okay. And these aren't the darkest darks. So I'm putting in this middle value, get this separation. With the snow on the buildings. And then I've got this middle value in here on the corral. I've got a little bit of breakup in here. And a little breakup in here. Again, it's going to give me some directional movement this way. All right. Then I've got the horse. The saddle is a strong shape. And then and the horse itself holds on to this strong silhouette. Its tail. This is all fading into this. And then the guy. And this shape coming down here. Again, I'm going to just complete this mid value first. And all this goes into this mid value here. Okay, so that kind of sets up my two-value pattern, if you will. But there's a third value in here, and I'll get to that too, but I want to get this. That's our setup. And then there's the third dark value in here where I want to kind of create a focus. His collar's up on his coat because it's cold outside. And there's a shadow here from his horse. And this shadow creates behind his hand here, it creates a pattern so that we're going to see his hand in there. We get a little bit of form on the front of his hat. Just a little bit in there. This. Again, it's a cast shadow, so it's going to be a little bit harder edge. Right? It's a form, or it's a shadow shape, but it's still less contrast there. Okay. And now when I get into a third value, I'm going to look at what's the directional, or is there a purpose for these directional shapes? I'm giving this, the one benefit of that little shape in there is that it's moving your eye in this direction. It's pushing you down this way. Okay, so here's my dark shape. And then the shadow this way frames his hat. Right? It comes this way and frames that hat. Behind him here, this comes down and goes like this. Okay? And this, again, this brings our eye down here where we get the front of the horse, and its hair, one ear, the other ear, and a little bit of its hair in here, because this shape is going to merge with its eye. These are the darkest values in here. Okay? He's giving you a little bit of a dot on there, and then along this edge, and then along this edge, and a little bit more down here. Okay? Now these things, that's what I say, when I start looking for these dark shapes on here, I'm looking really at what are they doing? My eye is coming down here, it's going up the top here, and then it continues to roll down here. And the same thing over here, they're directional. Okay? They have this force that kind of pushes it out this way, and then this one farthest out this way. And then our eye will actually go from rooftop to shadow here and move and come around in this way. Okay? So our eye is being moved throughout this piece. He's moving the direction of our gaze, and a little bit in here as well. Just little bits in here, little accents in here. They'll help frame this whole situation. So you can see how this starts getting important, because we go from this strong contrasting shape in here, the black to the gray. This is our greatest contrast is this silhouette out here, but this becomes very articulate. This shape out here is a strong directional shape this way. It follows along here. This softening here, this shadow, or the plants up here. The side of our frame is here. and we have something kind of merging in this. This is called a passage, okay? It just kind of merges in, where we have another shape of the building like this. This is a stronger shape, and then we have this heavier line there. So there's an emphasis on this direction, and then this passage brings us back into the picture. Okay? So instead of, if we didn't have these plants here, it would be this really hard, flat, hard edge graphic kind of an element there. And even something that's interesting too, even floating, it feels like it might be floating in something like this, but then you can put a signature up in here, and even a signature can be well placed to actually move your eye back up into the image. Some artists would do that. I know Egon Schiele he had signed his paintings many different ways, and he would place his signature or his monogram or whatever in different places on the image because it was a compositional point to do that. The question is why would you place the cabins where you place them? They happen to be placed in a real interesting way because they create a directional pattern. The one up at the top, and then the bigger one over here with a stronger emphasis there. You can see the side is dark over there, and then this one over here to the side of the frame, it moves your eye in this direction. Or throws your eye up in here, and then the dark of the eaves, the eave under the main cabin is the dark that echoes that. So this comes up, and then this comes over too. You see? And that helps frame our characters. This comes down and connects to the horse. And the horse is like this, and our guy is here. You see? So all of these things help frame this. And again, like I said, the shadow above the door, because this is curved, it pushes this way. Okay? And this frames his head. This other window coming over here frames the horse. Right? Because you get a shape like this, and this being the positive shape, it brings attention to this side over here. It has a force up here, but it also works as a target for this. So if I have the horse's head here like this, right? And I have a window up here that gives me a shadow like that. That's what I'm doing to it. I'm just saying, look at this. I'm creating things that go around it. So you can look at an environment, but then when you place things or move things, or adapt or adjust their shapes to create these directional forces, that helps move the viewer's eye through, and that's what you want to do with your composition. You want to look for those things. They don't always exist exactly the way that you want them, but these are what you want to look for.